Hello and welcome to ET Auto. I am in conversation with Billy Hayes, who is in charge for commercial operations of Stellantis Group's India and APAC region. Billy, thanks for talking to us.
No, thank you for your time. Thank you for being here.
So here you are at the very close to launching what you say in a presentation as perhaps one of the most strategic models in the recent past. Most strategic models in the near future for the Stellantis group, right?
Yes.
So tell us how crucial it is for the C3 Aircross SUV to succeed in this market, and then perhaps spread to others.
Yeah, I don't think we have any doubt that it will succeed. We've got a lot of firsts in the segment here. The first 5+2, the first vehicle with standard turbo engine, which is fantastic to drive. So we've got a lot of firsts. Longest wheelbase, right? We've got a lot. The first vehicle with roof-mounted AC, a tropicalized AC. So there's a lot of firsts in this vehicle. So we really believe that we have a winner. But this is really the springboard for hitting the core of the segment, right? The core of the midsize SUV segment here in India. So, we've said before that we're going to launch 3 vehicles on the CQ platform.
Right.
And actually, this is the third of fourth that we're talking about here. So this is crucial for the market. It's designed in India, built in India, by Indians, for the market specifically.
One is that, but the brand acceptance is very, very important. And in India, as much as it is promising, it's also a very, very competitive and challenging market, isn't it?
Absolutely, and this is why we're doing this event here today, so you can go out and people can see this.
Right.
Because we've also made a very seamless, easy purchase experience for consumers as we grow our dealer network. And not only is the purchase experience easy, fully digitized, customer can consume the vehicle, really immersive 3D configurator. I mean, if you haven't seen it, play with it. You can accessorize the vehicle. You can do price, payments, insurance. If you have a trade-in, there's a trade-in facilitator. You basically can do everything without actually visiting a dealer. Now, a lot of customers still want to visit a dealer. I mean, it's still a very emotional purchase. And what we've learned from C3 hatchback is about 2/3 of our customers are first-time buyers, which is actually amazing because we are a new brand.
Right.
So we are a new brand. So the acceptance
That gives you hope and confidence.
Absolutely.
Okay, and tell us the APAC region. How much of contribution does it make to Stellantis overall? And with India now kind of warming up for you,
right?
What are the prospects or what are the goals? I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
Perhaps you may not share everything here.
That's
but
okay.
Least, tell us now what are the key goals that you have.
That's okay. What I can tell you is our region makes up about 20% of the new car market across the world. But for Stellantis, right now we're about 2% of Stellantis sales in the region. So we have huge upside, not only here in India, but across the region. But the name of the game here in this region is localization. And it's as simple as that. You see what we've done, the very concrete investments, what we've done here in India to localize. And we plan to continue that localization throughout this region. But really, as I said before, India is the crown jewel of the region.
And talking about the overall business, okay, the non-vehicle parts, the components, the powertrain, and now your tech centers, your software development center. So how does it fit into your scheme of things or your plan for kind of building Stellantis? As you said, you want Stellantis to also be a sustainable mobility tech company. So what are the key kind of pillars or key strategic targets here?
Well, so I'll start with the investment. Because when we became Stellantis in January of 2021, shortly after that, we released our Dare Forward 2030 plan very transparently. And we committed to spending 30 billion euros in R&D, in software technology, and connectivity. Really, and this is for our consumers, right? And it's an EV technology. It's to really, we feel like developing this technology is our duty to the world, right? It's not just about CAFE compliance or CO2 compliance market by market, but we feel like at Stellantis is our obligation to the planet. So our kids and our grandkids actually have a planet to play on. So it really starts with our investment. And you see our CQ, but after this we've got 4 dedicated platforms for Stellantis Stella Small, Stella Mid, Stella Large, and Stella Frame.
To be shared across the brands.
Be shared across the brands. Shared across the brands. You know, three battery architectures, and really the platforms are power agnostic. They're powertrain agnostic. So, you know, whether you've got a BEV or a plug-in hybrid or a petrol engine, they're power agnostic. So we've got a lot of flexibility in the
Models
markets
based on
that we're
them
in.
would also be targeted for India. Some of them, at least.
What do you think? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. As we get ramped up with our common platforms across Stellantis, you know, of course, we plan to release vehicles on these platforms in India, of course. And it's not just the platforms, and it's not just the powertrains, and it's not just the battery architectures. There's also the technology that goes behind it. And a lot of this technology is being developed right here in India by some of the finest talent in IT in India. You know, we've got some things driving the vehicle like Stella Smart Cockpit, which is the immersive experience for the driver and passengers in the car. There's Stella Brains, which is what drives the car. You know, it's really the brains inside the car. I mean, basically the cars are evolving, right? This is not just a car anymore. Yes, exactly right. Exactly right. And then there's Stella Auto Drive, which is really key here, you know, in integrating AI into the experience, into our ADAS technologies, which are becoming more and more wanted in the markets.
So would India be a global tech development center, especially for AI and ADAS for Stellantis?
Yes, and actually it is. It totally is. Yes.
All right. And as the kind of industry evolves, you know, and one is evolving in terms of technology, but in terms of overall scale and volume, certain markets are stagnating. So therefore, the volumes may not grow as much, but the yield per car, with this whole softwarization trend, it gives you opportunities, right?
It does,
so
absolutely.
I think in Stellantis' case, you're targeting about 3 billion euros of additional revenue from connected vehicles.
Just in services.
Just in services.
Value-added services that customers feel enough value to pay for the services, right? So yes, that is the goal as Stellantis. It's not just about the car itself. Again, we're transforming from a legacy car maker into a sustainable mobility tech company.
Towards that, how can we scale up the engineering centers here? You said you started operations in the Bangalore Software Development Center last month?
Yes, last month. Yeah, last month in Bangalore. And we've also got an IT tech center in Hyderabad. And we've got 2 R&D centers here in India, one in Chennai, one in Pune.
How do you plan to ramp up those? What's the kind of, do you have a kind of a goal plan for that?
Yeah, I mean, they're ramping up now. I mean, we've got about 3,500 employees here just in India, right? And there's a multiplier effect when you talk about our suppliers. And we're not just working on technology for India or the India and Asia Pacific region. We're doing validation testing, for example, on products across the world, even products that are only really sold in the United States.
Right. And in terms of, this is Citroen, you have the Jeep also. So would these be the 2 drivers for Stellantis in India, or do you see maybe a possibility of adding 1 or 2 more brands? You have 14. 2 out of 14 is a little too small, right?
Yeah, it's always part of the conversation, right? It's always the, you know, what about bringing Fiat back? What about Alfa Romeo? So it's always something that we're concurrently looking at in terms of brands. But I'll tell you right now, Jeep and Citroen are brands here, right? We're looking to grow in these brands, right? We're looking to make these brands stronger in the market.
You're not leaving India?
Me?
No, these brands.
No way, no way, no way. We've got so much invested and so much in the future to invest too. So we've got quite a footprint here, and we're here to stay. I mean, you're stuck with us. Yeah.
And talking about adding another brand, perhaps, no, I mean, Fiat would be the strongest contender, right? Because it has a legacy in India. No? So therefore, no, reintroducing it would be
Yeah, it's always part of the discussion, right? But you know, it's all about, does the business case make sense? Does the customer receptivity be there? Whether it's Fiat, whether it's Alfa Romeo, whether it's Peugeot.
Is there active discussion in the organization around that?
Always, there always is. You know, we're always keeping our options open. You know, if we feel like we can do well with a brand in a market, then we go for it. If the business case makes sense and we feel like we'll do well, yeah, absolutely.
Lastly, any further investments in the horizon for Stellantis?
Well, we continue to invest in product and product improvements across our lineup here, right? And I assume you're just talking about India, but I mean, we talked about the 30 billion investment. It just doesn't end there, right? That's just through 2025. And again, 2025, it's now. I mean, this is all happening now. So yeah, you know, expansion of our lineups, continuing to improve the products that we have in our lineups. Yeah, we can't sit still, especially here in India.
On that note, Billy, good to meet you and all the very best.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you.
And
Get the
best.
word out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good luck
please.
with the Citroen C3 Aircross. Yeah.
Thank
There
you.
you heard Billy Hayes, head of commercial operations of the Stellantis Group operations in India and APAC region, talking about not only the C3 Aircross SUV, which is set to be launched very soon in the Indian market. It will go on sale from October. Bookings start in September. But more than that, India's role in Stellantis' overall game plan as a global technology development base also. So interesting times ahead for the automotive market, and in that, I guess Stellantis would look at tapping India much stronger to be able to grow, as it says, as a sustainable mobility tech company. Thank you very much for watching this interview. Take care. Goodbye.